Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I'd really appreciate it, and I'd be able to send my best to your inbox on a daily basis. If you like the watches, you can buy them on thewatchbox.com. Buy, trade, or sell luxury watches 24 hours a day on thewatchbox.com, and we are global. Today we're discussing an oversized watch after my own heart. I'm not necessarily given to the type. This one is both handsome and clever while being easy to wear on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. Today we're discussing the Oris Aquis Chronograph Titanium. 46 millimeters in titanium with a tungsten bezel insert. This is a handsome use of grayscale and a watch that wears easy for such a large case. So let's go over the measurements. 46 millimeters is diagonally from roughly 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Obviously, it doesn't include crown guards, chronograph pushers, but for whatever reason, and maybe it's the shape of the lugs being short and stubby and sharply downturned, I have no difficulty wearing this 54 millimeter lug-to-lug watch across my rather narrow wrist. I actually think you could wear this watch with security on a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. It is thick though. It is very thick at 18.5 millimeters. This one's not disappearing underneath a cuff of any kind. And it is comfortable, as the titanium case being both hypoallergenic, so if you have a nickel allergy and you shy away from steel, this is for you, as well as shrouded in a very supple strap, makes this a pleasure on the wrist. Now the strap is proprietary, as you can see. You need to buy an Oris strap. That said, the integrated look that results is handsome. Very little daylight between strap and case. That's a premium aesthetic that you expect from upscale models, not necessarily from rivals to the likes of Tag Heuer and Tudor. You'll also note that the strap is held in place by screws for absolute security. No spindly spring bars here. This is the way it should be done in the luxury class at every price point. Oris giving you a nicely tapered and sharply defined strap that has strong character lines as well as strong branding, frankly. It's natural vulcanized rubber and it's lightly vanilla scented, which I love. It has hollows on the underside to allow the wrist to aerate. Oil, sweat, grit, heat, all can escape on a hot day. Conversion factors, by the way, on the case back. I often get questions about the case back of watches that don't have a display case back. This one has more to see than most. Meters to feet for you divers out there. The clasp is of titanium, and the clasp is thoughtfully made. Perlage finish inside, double finished on the outside with both polish and satin. You can see that it has twin trigger release, so it can't accidentally pop open, and it doesn't use a cheap clamshell locking closure. It also tucks excess strap length underneath its clasp body so that it has a very clean look once the watch is sized down on your wrist. It also has a couple of options for sizing. As you can see, it does feature a cuttable strap, but at the same time, there is a push-button slider system that allows you to move the strap within the clasp for micrometric sizing. It is incremental. It's not an all or nothing. You push the two triggers and you move it around to size to suit. Smart, clever, better than I expected at an entry-level price point in several respects. Just like the case itself. Now you can see this one is no holds barred sporting. Not a dual purpose watch, not a two-way player. It's not designed to double as your dress companion for a delicate occasion or an elegant trip to the opera. That said, it's a sports watch par excellence, mostly in satin finish to mute the impact of its size. It does have some polished highlights around the lip of the bezel as well as the hoods of the lugs. High polished crown as well as chronograph pushers. You note the crown structure distinctive and held in place by Oris's proprietary screws. Thoughtful design throughout. The bezel, interesting on a couple of levels. First, it has a very satisfying detent. It sounds good. It feels good. I approve on both counts. Line up the luminescent pearl, by the way, tungsten bezel insert for scratch resistance and a sharp grayscale aesthetic. Line up the bezel insert with the oversized leaf-style minutes hand, an unusual choice for a dive watch, but effective. And now you have an impromptu 0 to 60-minute timer that you can use concurrent with the chronograph itself to time two events simultaneously up to 60 minutes in duration. There will be a loom shot at the end, so stay tuned. A gray and perhaps we should say grayscale dial treatment, a span of grays from white with the calibrations to dark anthracite of the dial base itself. Raised registers for chronograph minutes and hours and an understated double arm constant seconds at 9 o'clock. You can see 500 meters water resistant, helium escape valve present and correct for you saturation divers, and a nice balanced anchor at the dial at 6 o'clock, where you have both chronograph hours and a discrete, no-nonsense, white-on-black printed date disc. Now, you will note that everything on the dial is luminescent, so this is going to be one heck of a fun lume shot. And, moreover, applique rather than printed indices on an entry-level diver. Impressive. The crown is also impressive as it's large, deeply knurled, easy to grip. Even if your hands are wet, sweaty, or gloved, when you withdraw it, it has a solidity to it. It doesn't want to move around. It feels like the stem and stem tube assembly were chosen to impart confidence. And I should mention that when you pull the crown out, you hack the balances. This is essentially a Valjoux 7750, a Sellita SW500, which is Sellita's take on the 7750 architecture that's been around for so long. Patents and copyrights no longer apply. So they fit one. It has a 28,800 vibration per hour beat rate, chronograph, automatic winding, unidirectional, high efficiency, quick set date that you can rapidly cycle. This one features a relatively robust power reserve at the upper end of what you'd expect from a 7750, 48 hours, so a bit more than the 42 to 44 hours that are standard. A handsome watch, the ultimate tool watch, no nonsense, strap, clasp, dial, bezel, with a tank-tough automatic Swiss caliber inside. This watch is the works. See it and make it yours on our website. And we're back with the Oris Aquis Chronograph in titanium and tungsten. Grayscale by day, a little bit more colorful by night. See it with full boxes and papers with all accessories included on our website.